Canadian Sport Fishing is brought to you by Rapala Premium Fishing Gear, crafted from experience. Yamaha on the water. This is my Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? Dickies, a legend in work since 1922. Lucky Strike. More fish fight with a Lucky Strike.
Wow, we've been trolling out here on the Mediterranean and everything just went crazy. We're in front of a town called Ashdod. We're about 45 minutes south of Tel Aviv, and we're doing some trolling and getting some really nice kingfish. There's the first one in the boat. You know, kingfish are schooling fish, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fish on. So this is amazing. So I'm letting these guys bring theirs in first. We've got lines crossed. So it's funny because we've got such a nice day, and you know, it looks like this isn't really the time to fish. It's a bluebird sky. I don't know if he's going to land it. He's trying to flip it in the boat. Careful, Asher. See if you can flip it right in. Good. Whoa, careful. There. We got another one over here on the floor. Talk about excitement. Now, all of the lures that are running, by the way, you can see they're either storm plugs, they're body baits, or they're Rapalas. Nice kingfish. Good one. So JJ, is this normal to get into a school like this?
Yes, yes. We are, well, as soon as the fish begin to bite, so we're going to get some chance. We're going to make another turn, and we mark the spot.
How long are the king mackerel in Israeli waters in front of Tel Aviv and Ashdod?
They can stay about around 6-7 months.
Wow, that's a good season.
Dickies, Sport Fishing Sweepstakes.
Each of us caught a fish, and when I tore onto mine, I fought him for about 20 minutes, and eventually I brought him in. My back was just killing, and I had all my buddies grab him, and we picked him up, and he was about 57, 60 inches, somewhere around there, and for a stag and for a fish that I've never ever went sturgeon fishing, so it was a pretty cool experience.
We'd love to hear your fishing story. Go to our website and enter the Dickies Sport Fishing Sweepstakes. It's free, and you could win some great prizes.
We are having a wonderful time fishing throughout Israel. And you know, on this trek of our trip, we're going right by Jerusalem, which is the heart of Israel. And it's situated roughly halfway between its northern border of Israel, near Lebanon, and the Red Sea, which we'll be fishing tomorrow. Jerusalem has a population of just under 1 million people. And if you're going to be coming to Jerusalem, it's one thing to see the new modern Jerusalem and all the buildings and stay in the hotels and visit the shops. But you have to go inside Old Jerusalem because you're going back in time. And inside Old Jerusalem, there are different quarters. The Armenian quarter, the Christian quarter, the Jewish quarter. And it's such an amazing flavor of cultures that it has to be part of your experience here in Israel.
We'll be heading along the coast today, driving northwards towards the city of Caesarea, which is going to be our first destination. We'll try to do the fishing at Herod's Palace, at the remains of Herod's Palace. I'm guessing that it's a great place because I see fishermen all the time there. There's another place where we could fish, which is right on where the palace is. These are mainly the ruins over here on the rift. This is where I always see the fishermen, but you can see some of the remains, okay? We can see the Crusader city that is here. We could see the Roman Byzantine city that is here. We could see the Hippodrome, which is where the horse races were done, and the theater that is to our left, which is probably the most important theater over here. Remember again, Festus and Felix giving Paul being imprisoned over here in the city of Caesarea. Right over here, Caesarea Maritima, and actually wanted to be judged by Caesar himself because he was a very unique characteristic because Paul actually was Jewish, but he was a Roman citizen, which was not a very common combination altogether.
Wow. Is that dramatic or what? That's the mighty Mediterranean. And we're here in Caesarea. We're just up from Tel Aviv, maybe 20 minutes in Israel. And this is an amazing place. There's so many internationals here. that are checking out all of the ruins and all the archaeological sites. You know, Caesarea, going about 2,000 years and even earlier than that, was a very important port city. And this is actually the entrance of the harbor where we're fishing, so there's lots of structure here. Besides the actual tourists, you can see Israelis here with very long rods. And they're using small hooks and trying to catch little species of pinfish using the inside of shellfish. And those fish that they catch will probably be their dinner. Barb and I are here hunting for some larger fish like jacks or barracuda that will cruise in along these shorelines and into the harbor. This is such a magnificent place. You know, whether you look down the coast or up the coast, it is so dramatic and it's so rich in history. I'm going to check out these fishermen. We are having a great time in sunny Israel. We've seen so many beautiful sights from Jerusalem and then going all the way north of Tiberias, almost to the Lebanon border and all the way down to the Red Sea and Eilat. Right now we're long lining, so we have leads of anywhere from 100 to about 300 feet long. And my choice for those kind of trolling conditions is to use a titanium braid line. Now what I'm holding up in my hand here is 80-pound test. Those of you in North America probably use 80-pound test if you're throwing large lures for muskie or trolling. But in saltwater, this would be considered average because some of the fish that you catch are over 80 pounds. Now, why have I gone to the braid? The braid is very low diameter. This particular one is 80-pound test, but it only has 17-pound test monofilament diameter. And that's very important because in my case, I brought some of my bait casting counter reels that we use for down rigging and for long lining in the Great Lakes. They're not really saltwater reels. They don't have 500-yard capacity of heavy line. So by going to the braid, even in the 80-pound test, which is the low diameter in monofilament, I can really load up that reel. I can get about 300 yards of line on there. So the no stretch line, if your drag is set right, is optimum to get good hook sets. So if you want better performance, if you're traveling to a warm place, make sure to get yourself some braided line. So what I'm doing here is trying to keep it on the surface. You can see the kingfish is right on top. Yeah, you want me to go to the left? No. Here, I go over here. Over here. Is that okay? So I'm going to walk backwards now. We'll see if that braid will hold. Now because these fish fight so hard and they are good eating size, we're going to be eating these fish. And I've had king mackerel before, and you know what? They are great. But that's a classic king mackerel. It's not a big fish. This one is about 3 kilo, 2-3 kilo maybe. Yeah. So it's not a big fish, but boy, do they fight hard.
They fight and they are very tasty.
And we've got five for five. We had five fish on. Five in the box.
Yeah.
Okay, see if we can get them cleaned off.
No problem.
And we're going to put them in there. Perfect. First time that I've actually had 5 fish trolling like this. We landed all 5 fish. Well done, David. Excellent. Asher, well done. Yeah. Roger, Captain, you did a great job putting us on those fish. Okay, can we go back on top of them, JJ?
No,
perfect. Okay.
As we're looking down below us again, we can see the Mount of Anointing, or Mount of Olives. To my left, you can actually see the area of the Palm Sunday Road, which leads down to the Garden of Gethsemane, and you'll see a lot of the pilgrims that will come to Jerusalem. We could also see the double gates that are here, which lead us all the way into the area of the Temple Mount. So over here, the Mount of Anointing, the area that had the oldest olive trees in the land, and some of them are kept over here, and this is what we're going to be seeing next as we go down to the Garden of Gethsemane.
Now, ladies, you know how we talked about the floating lures that are great to use in shallow water? Well, if you're fishing in deeper water and you want to use a lure that looks like a small fish so that big fish see the flash and hit it, you want to use a lure that sinks. These feel pretty heavy, right?
Yeah.
They're both made out of metal. One is called a spoon and one is called a spinner. And these lures, for them to work properly, you pretty well have to pull them the whole time to get any kind of action. So both of these are designed to attract fish from a distance, the flash and the vibrations. So you have to keep them moving, you can't stop. So they work great for trout, brook trout, rainbow trout in deeper water.
Okay, cool.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by Slimers in Organic Flesh Bait. Fish hit hard and often with Slimers.
traveling throughout Israel and fishing saltwater on this strip. We've been down on the Red Sea, on the Mediterranean, literally from one end of Israel all the way north, almost the Lebanon border. I was pleasantly surprised to see that the #1 lure are the Rapala lure lines in the Storm, in the crankbaits. Now what I'm holding up here are the deeper diving lures. One is made out of plastic, and you can see that it has the name. This one's had a few fish rip at the name. This is the X-Rap Deep. You can see a number 20 there. That means that it dives to 20 feet. So that's why it's got this long lip. This particular one has a chartreuse lip with an orange color. So it's very good, dives down with about a 100-foot lead to 20 feet deep. The other lure that I'm holding in my hand is really the staple for saltwater fishing, and it's called the Rapala Magnum. And this particular one is the number 14. That means that it's 14 centimeters long. And the first thing that should hit you is that the lip is not clear and colored. You can see it's a metal lip. Sometimes in clear water, when you're going after feeding fish that are feeding on silver bait fish, the silver flash that's produced from that lip is very important as that lure goes from side to side. So this lure will dive down to about 15 feet, this one to about 20 feet. You can see that both lures are equipped with cadmium treble hooks. So these are saltwater hooks. The other thing, they're designed for big fish. Notice the rings, they're not split rings, they are welded rings. So once they install these on the lures, they're welded and you can't pull them off. So even if you have a fish that head shakes a lot, like the king mackerel that we've been landing, they won't be able to take your snap or your knot off the lure. So these are two very good choices of lures to use if you're planning to do any trolling in saltwater for some of the larger game fish. Now, Barb, you've been to Israel like 20 times, right?
Yes, I have.
We've been to Israel 4 together. This has got to be the most interesting trip, you got to admit, right?
Yes, the fishing part is like amazing.
And seeing all of Israel going, literally we've covered together with our guide and some of the other people that are in our group, 2,000 miles in Israel in the last 10 days. 2,500 was it?
I think so.
Amazing.
That's a lot of miles.
So we've had a chance to fish the Red Sea for giant trevally. We tried for some tuna. And now we're out here fishing with our good friend JJ, who's just holding on to his fish so Barbara can land hers. And he prepared for 3 days. Were you praying for 3 days, JJ?
Oh yeah, definitely.
Actually, we'll tell him the truth. I went to the front of the boat. You were praying at the front of the boat.
Yeah.
So that we would get more fish. So we've got lots of fish.
Holy Land, no?
Yeah, you're doing good. Now, once you get a fish on top of the water like this, it's really important to keep him up so he doesn't go into the other lines. You're doing great, Barb. Careful.
Okay.
When one of the skippers are going to flip the boat, the fish in, don't let him go down, Barb.
Do I have another line
keep him-
attached?
No, you don't. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Bring him in. Bring him in. We'll worry about the other line later. Okay, Roger's sneaking in there. He's probably going to grab it, and then just watch out when it hits the floor. Keep reeling, Barb. Reel, reel, reel. It's a good size eating fish. Keep reeling. Keep reeling. Good, they gaffed it. And it's careful. Watch those hooks. Good. If you can just hold them there for 1 second. Barbara, you had him just by the back, one treble, which is perfect. These fish have so much energy. And in a minute here, if he slows down, I just want you to look at his teeth. Be very careful, Roger, with that hand. You can see all the teeth that he's got. If I can you grab my glove for 1 minute, David? It's right there. I'm going to hold its tail still. Yes, Roger, this is a very good glove. It's made out of stainless steel and Kevlar. The hook can go in the glove. Careful if it goes to jump off. Okay, I just wanted to hold him still so you can see his teeth. And we got to be careful, Barb, that we don't get blood on us. You can see how razor sharp those teeth are. That's one of the reasons why we're using 40-pound test wire leader. So this guy's actually a perfect eating size. So he's by no means a trophy. And it's good to take these fish for eating. And I think this is like our 6th fish that we're going to have in the box. Okay, JJ, do you have the pliers or do you want to grab mine out of my pocket?
Yep.
Right here. Dave's trying to get my attention. I'll show you what kingfish do if you don't have wire on. They've got tough mouths. And we're going to get the other one out. Yep. Okay, we're going to open the box. And have you got it, Roger? Okay, I'll let you put it in the box. Now this is what David, JJ's brother, was showing me. Look, this is fluorocarbon. Looks like 50, 60 pound, right, JJ?
Yeah, 60
Yeah,
pound.
and you can see the way it's been cut. Fluorocarbon is much harder than monofilament, but you know what? For the kingfish, it's very wise to go to wire. And some of the at least 40-pound wire or even heavier because they've got such sharp teeth. The problem is not that they're going to grab the lure and the leader. It's when you're fighting them and they head shake, very often their teeth will hit the leader, or sometimes another kingfish will come by and either hit the swivel because he thinks it's a minnow from the silver flash, or he'll come by trying to get the lure out of the one fish's mouth and cut the line. So it's very wise to use wire.
We're now in Yad Vashem, which is the eternal memorial for the Jewish people. Along this whole area, you would be able to see plaques. When we'll go through, you're going to see the trees that are here. These trees are the carob trees, which are the boxer, which are a symbol of life, a symbol of continuity. And right over here, we want to give a token of appreciation to those people that helped us survive and helped Israel come alive.
When you come to Jerusalem, I would really encourage you to visit the Garden of Gethsemane site. This is where some of the oldest olive trees in Jerusalem are, and some of these olive trees actually have the roots that go back 2,000 years ago. So don't be fooled by the bark that you see on the outside of the tree. The shoots from the roots actually come up and they continue to grow over the thousands of years. You can see behind me, this is a quiet area where people walk in. There's quite a large area where you can see these trees, and they're just outside of the old city. Wonderful place to come and visit. Being a professional fisherman and having fished for a variety of fish, both saltwater and freshwater, all over the world, I'm a firm believer that if you can, you should have the right equipment for the specific type of fishing that you're doing. For example, if you live somewhere like here in Israel and you fish the Mediterranean or the Red Sea, you should really have serious saltwater gear, saltwater rods, saltwater reels that have a high line capacity, and are also rods and reels that are salt resistant. But living in Canada and doing most of my fishing in the northern parts of Canada and the Great Lakes, fishing rivers and streams, all of my fishing gear pretty well is for freshwater fishing. But what I've done is taken some of my heaviest actions of freshwater gear, using it here to throw. Oh, okay. Is the on, he's off. I just had a fish on. So this is how good the fishing is here in the Mediterranean. So what I'm using, this is a 7-foot, 4-inch Magnum rod. And we're gonna see how well it does. And I've got it loaded with a counter reel that we use for downrigging. This particular rod is part of the Magnum Catfish series, and it's got a live rating of 15 to 30 pound test. And the counter reel that I have on here is used for Great Lakes fishing. This fish is way back there, so I'm going to try to keep the pressure on. And I've taken the clicker off so you can hear me talking. So the counter reel, even though it's not really designed for a lot of 40 to 60 pound test monofilament line, is still great to use with braided line. So I have this reel loaded with Suffix color-coded braid. This one is 50 pound test line. The line diameter is about 14 pound monofilament. But when I say color-coded, if you look into the reel, you can see that it's different colors. Each color represents 10 yards. And because this rod has a nice long butt, I'm actually using the butt in my belly. If it was a really big fish, I would put a fighting belt on. But I don't need a fighting belt for this size fish. I'm guessing that this fish is probably under 10 or 12 pounds. What we're doing here, as you can see, is trying to get the line out of the way, and I'm trying to keep the fish on top so that I can bring it in. Now, when I reel the fish in about 6 feet away from the rod tip, I'm going to stop reeling and I'm going to walk back so that the person grabbing the fish doesn't have too much tension on the line. So I'm going to bring it right there and I'm going to walk back and hopefully he'll be able to get the gaff into it. He's trying, he's got the line. It's not as easy as this looks. I think he's got it. And this is where you have to be very careful when the fish comes into the boat. Even a small fish like this that's under 12 pounds, whether it's a king mackerel or a dolphin fish or tuna, it's very important to let the fish thrash around. Don't go over there trying to get the hook out, because you can either get cut by the fish's teeth as it's flopping or actually get the hook in your hand. So the best thing is either to disable the fish or to wait till it's done thrashing and then get the hook out of it. In this case, he's thrown the hook, which is great.
Canadian Sport Fishing has been brought to you by Rapala Premium Fishing Gear, crafted from experience. Yamaha on the water. This is my Yamaha. What kind of Yamaha are you? Dickies, a legend in work since 1922. Lucky Strike. More fish fight with a Lucky Strike.
We've had such nice weather here, you know. We've had a little bit of rain, but it's only rained at night during the 10 days that we've been in Israel. So most of the days it gets cool at night. You know, we're here in November, December, and during the day we've had up to 24 to 26 degrees centigrade, which is wonderful weather. I like how you're reeling a nice and slow, Barb, because it's coming from about 100 feet of water. Let's see what it is. It's oh, look at this. Look at Barbara.
Oh, I got
you
the
win.
fish of the day.
Now, this isn't the kind that's poisonous, is it?
No.
No, okay. What a pretty fish, Barb. Look at him. This is like an aquarium fish. Come on, little fishy. You liked your squid, Barb,
Yes.
that's for sure.
Yeah.
And bye-bye.